Hey guys, welcome back to Kendi Beauty. So today we're going to be doing lots of swatches up close, far away, lots of swatches, and trying out and testing out all of the Pat McGrath BIJOUX collection, holiday collection. I wasn't sure if I was going to divide it up into like different videos, which I may still do dedicated videos in each thing, but I'm putting it all in here. So anyways, if you're new here, thanks for hanging out with us today. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, tap the bell so you can be notified of all the new upcoming videos. And we need to get right into this because there's a lot to cover. Here are the 3 face palettes. The packaging is gorgeous. They're made in Italy, 10.3 grams. There's 3 pans in here. There is the blush, a highlight, and a bronze. Starting out with Forever Nude. This is the lightest one. So according to Pat McGrath, the blush and the highlight shades are new hues and the bronze shade is the repeat shade. And these might be, we'll have to do a little comparison here. They might be the same size as her regular. So that's the highlight. That's the blush, and that's the bronzer. Okay, so this is the size. I have a video just on bronzers. This is the full size, like of her blush or bronzer. So as you can see, it's a little bit smaller, but still pretty good size. This is Nude Honey, Nude Peony, and Opal Allure. This is Nirvana and Bloom, and there's Bronze Nirvana, Sunset Bloom, and Lotus Nectar. Okay, and there's those 3 shades, and the highlighter is more like a blush topper. It's really, really pretty. And then the middle blush shade really reminds me of the blush that the single blush that she did in last year's holiday collection. And then this is the deepest one. This is Supernova Siren. And we have Burnished Honey, Midnight Orchid, and Solar Fantasy. I had to take my one ring off because this part is magnetic. And, oh my goodness. And, and I was wondering what was going on, why my ring kept digging into the pants. It's because it was magnetic and it kept, like, clinging. Oh, I got those ones out of order, but okay, because this video is getting really long, I'm just gonna zoom in on these palettes and you guys can look at the details for yourself. These BIJOUX Brilliance 5-pan palettes are supposed to be 2 mattes, 2 metallics, and 1 shimmer. Although all of the shimmer / metallic shade, they all feel like the same formula to me. I can't really tell a difference, but they're all like very sort of that new moisture tacky formula. And I don't think there are any astral shades in any of the palettes, which is a bummer. Just like a side by side, because at first I was thinking that this kind of looked similar to last year's palette. So this one is last year's. And then this one is, let me do it like this. And at first I thought they looked similar, but after like further, yeah, they really aren't that similar actually. But the bottom one is last year's holiday palette. And that was the Celestial Nirvana Nude Allure Shadow Palette. And then this is the Bijou Brilliance in Sunset Romance. Okay, and then this is the Bijou Brilliance Bordeaux Bliss. And again, these two look like the most similar as far as like last year's palette, and similar but still not quite the same. Just wanted to point that out. If you hear my lovely little Elle's coughing in the background, you guys, she's really getting old. All right, this is Bordeaux Bliss. Again, this is the same, the 2 metallics, 1 shimmer, and 2 mattes in these palettes. One shimmer and 2 mattes, but quite honestly, none of these feel like a matte to me. None of them. I mean, I guess this one is like a creamy matte. This is like, I wouldn't say it's a matte. It feels really putty-ish. But I guess it could be considered like a matte with glitter. Really pretty palette. I'm excited about that. Okay, next up we have Bronze Ecstasy. And here are the shades. Ah! Okay. The mattes kind of are reminding me of like Natasha Denona, the cream powder formula, because they're really buttery and not like a powdery, not like a powder matte. Ooh, love that shade. Okay. Ooh, that's really pretty. Okay, and last but not least, we have the Lunar Nightshade palette. The Bijou Brilliance Lunar Nightshade. And here are the shade names. I think this is, I'm definitely like most excited, I think, about this one. Although I really did like the last one as well. That ended up being really pretty. I love it when I'm filming and it's like quiet here all the time except for when I'm filming. And then that's when, you know, the trucks and the dogs go crazy, and it's like always without a doubt. That's what it is. Here's the swatches. I can tell that this matte shade is different than the other matte shades. I'm a little worried about it being a little harder to blend out. It just seems like a little patchier, but we will see. Actually, now that this is swatched, I might prefer the other ones. I was expecting more oomph out of those 2 last shades toward these 2 shades down here, but okay, just to break things up a little bit, I'm going to do the swatches for the bigger palettes later. I'm going to go ahead and go in with Sunset Romance on one of my eyes. So I'm going to go in with this matte shade right here. And because these are really creamy and pigmented, I'm just gonna try to go lightly at first. Seamless blend so far. Okay, so here are the 3 shimmers again. I think I'm gonna do this shade, putting right in the middle here. Then I'm going in with this. Right here. And then I'm gonna go in with the lighter shade on the inner corner. And definitely have some fallout. Okay, so now we're gonna go in with Bordeaux Bliss. Going in with this shade right here. This is a pretty good blend on this matte shade, but it's a little bit of a more puttier texture. So it's clinging a little bit, but still like pretty good for being that kind of a formula as far as the way it's blending out. And I don't know if it's the sparkles from the other shadows getting into it or if it's like a matte with sparkles, but there's definitely some sparkles in it, which might be what is clinging. It might not be the formula. I don't know if you guys can see those sparkles. I think maybe it's in the matte shade, which I don't know how I feel about that. I think I'd rather just have a regular matte shade. Again, I would like a lighter matte in here, but now I'm gonna go in with this shade, but I'm gonna use my finger because, ooh, it is like really, I did not want this shade to go up here, but I guess this is gonna be like a really smoky look, which I really didn't want to put this much of the darker shade in here, but that's all right. Okay, so now I'm gonna go in with this shade right here, and I'm just gonna go over top of that. My finger. Okay, good. I was hoping that that would sort of soften it out, which it did, so that's good. All right, so now I don't know if I even want to go in with this shade. I guess maybe I'll just go in with it right here. Just a little bit, and now I'm going in with this shade. Ooh. Right on the inner portion right there. I honestly don't even think I need to put a lash on. That's really pretty. Okay, so now on to Bronze Ecstasy. Whew, I don't even know. I think I'll start out with this shade right here. It's gonna be a dark look as well. Because these are like that dense matte formula, see how it's, if your skin is not like 15-year-old tight skin, then you might have some problems blending out. It just kind of like sticks a little bit, but it's pretty easy to work out. It like doesn't stay, so, but just something to keep in mind. I think if it was her, I don't even say regular formula because she's changed her formulas so much over the years, but I don't think, which I didn't end up getting the last mothership because it the last two motherships because they haven't had astral shades in them. I think the last mothership I got, which doesn't mean I won't pick one or two up on the VIB sale, but the last mothership I got was the Utopian Dreams. And that did have, I think, an astral shade or two. Yeah, see how it just kind of... can get a little bit hard to blend out. Okay, so now I'm going to go in with this deeper shade. It just because these mattes are really, really like they're soft and they like feel like a shimmer formula. They're kind of puttyish and they're really dense and I hate to say moist, but kind of. I mean, they're kind of moist. But I feel like they have some shimmer in them too, which like some glitter flakes, which I don't know if I really care for that much, honestly. Just going in with the first matte shade underneath. And just trying to get that a little smoother. Okay, here are these three shimmer shades. Ooh, that is a really, that's this middle one right here. That is a really, really glassy. I'm liking that one. Okay, I'm definitely gonna go in with that one, I think. Oh, that is so pretty. Ooh, I kind of like that all over. Ooh, this is really pretty. I like this. Look at how glassy that one is. I don't think I've seen that in the other... I mean, they're all supposed to be the same formula, but we all know how that goes. So now I'm just putting this shade on the outer corner right here. Just kind of tap. I feel like these are definitely finger palettes for the most part. I mean, that sounds weird, but you guys know what I mean. Oh, that is so freaking beautiful. All right, I really don't want to go in with this shade, but I guess I will. Just because I really, really like this middle shade. I'm going to go back over with the middle shade because I really want that glossiness. Okay, now onto Nightshade, which got a little messy there. So there's, okay, I guess I'm just gonna go in with this shade. I'm a little worried about this one blending out, but the other mattes haven't blended out perfectly well. I mean, again, I think they blend out well for that sort of formula that it is, but they're definitely not just like a regular dry powder matte. Okay, now I'm going in the outer corner with this sort of, I don't know, it's like a tealish black shade. I don't know what you would call that, but trying to smoke that out with my finger. Now I'm gonna go in with this shade right there. Definitely some fallout, but this is beautiful. Oh, absolutely stunning. Yeah, I guess I'll go in with that. Right on the inner corner there. Whew. And then I will use the shade and sort of meet it in the middle. Back in with the light blue shade. I lost some of it, I think. Okay, now on to these. The Mothership BIJOUX Brilliance. These are supposed to be a 9 powder, rich saturation, 1 stroke intensity, sparkling metallic, luminous shimmer, and matte finishes. There's 2 blushes. I don't think, I could be wrong, but I don't think the blushes are new blushes. But let's go ahead and swatch this out. This is also made in Italy, I believe. And the blush has an 18-month shelf life, and the shadows have a 12-month shelf life. And these are the 2 blushes right here. Now onto the shadows. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I'm not even gonna bother swatching the other the other blushes in the next palette, because I think they're just repeat blushes. Oh my goodness. Ooh. Okay, this is like the good Pat McGrath matte formula right here. I'm excited. And now on to this middle row. So pretty. Okay, and now on to the bottom row. We have these 3 shades, and this, as you can see, is like a little bit of like a multi-chromeness, I think. Maybe a duochrome. That's interesting. Ooh. That's exciting. Yeah, it's definitely like a multi-duochrome shade. Okay, so now that we've swatched Jeweled Temptation, I'm just going to go ahead and swatch the Mothership BIJOUX Brilliance Starstruck Splendor. And here are the details on this one. I do really like this year's packaging over last year. I actually almost didn't get the jeweled, this one right here. The Jeweled Temptation, the one we just swatched, because I just thought it looked so ugly online. But now that they have like multi-chrome shades in them, plus I really like the matte formulas in these, I'm kind of really glad I got this so far. We'll see. I mean, we'll see. All right, so this looks really pretty too. I don't think I have this blush shade yet. Coral Cosmos and Nymphette. I know Nymphette is a repeat shade. I'm not sure about the other one. Okay, now on to the best part. We're starting with the top row. Okay, I don't know if you can see the shift in the shade, but this one right here is freaking gorgeous. Okay, next we have the middle row. Okay, and now for this bottom row, we've got some really interesting shades. Ooh, oh my gosh, Pat. I feel like this is like Natasha, Denona, and Danessa Myricks mixed together. I am in love. So glad I got this collection so far. Okay, so going in with this palette first, I'm going to go in with this matte shade right here. Actually, I'm going to go in with this shade first. I'm just going to dust that all over the eye. Next, I'm going to go in with this cranberry shade right here. I'm going to get that closer to the crease area. Now I'm going to go in with this purple shade, and I'm just going to tap that right over top. Now in the inner corner, I'm going in with this sort of duochrome multi-chrome shade. Put that a little bit lower and just sweep that across. Okay, now on to Starstruck Splendor. I guess I'll go in with this shade first, like above. Actually, I want to go in with this shade over here too. It's a nice, like, smooth, buttery matte. Okay, now I'm gonna go in with this, like, mauve-ish sort of lilac-y purple shade. Dusty, like, purple. Okay, so first I'm gonna go in with the multi-chromish shade. Oh my god, that's so beautiful. Oh, it's so pretty. Now I'm gonna go in with this shade. And then I'm gonna go in with this shade. So freaking pretty. Okay, so we are back now with the face palettes. I think what I'll do is I'll just try to go in with as many as I can, and we'll take it from there. All right, so starting in with the deepest one, this is the Supernova Siren. I'm just gonna go in. Oh my gosh, that's so rich. That is the Burnished Honey. And I feel like this video is not doing the bronzers justice, but I do have a full video on every single bronzer shade. Her bronzers are beautiful. So if you're interested in checking that out so you can see every single shade, I will link that video down below. Okay, so now I'm gonna go in with the middle palette, which is the Nirvana and Bloom palette. I'm gonna go in with this right here. And I'm just gonna go over top of that. Bring that down a little bit. Not too much. Over on this side, I'm gonna go in with this shade first. And now I'm just gonna sort of blend that all together. And that is the Nude Honey shade. which is one of my personal favorites. It's also one of the, I think if not the lightest shade, there might be one or two that's lighter. I can't remember now, but just a really pretty shade. Okay, so now I'm gonna go back in with the lighter palette, which is the Forever Nude. I'm gonna go in with this shade. I just wanna I'm also gonna put that on my nose because it is the lightest palette and it's the lightest blush shade. That is really pretty. The thing I really love about Pat McGrath blushes is you can definitely build them up. Okay, now going in with the Nirvana and Bloom palette, this medium palette, and I'm dusting the blush. I'm just gonna go up a little with that. That is a beautiful shade. I think I don't know if I mentioned this before, but it reminds me of, it's like a nudie sort of tawny, like Your Skin But Better. It reminds me of the Holiday blush color, the single that she had come out with last year. Love that. I love it. I love it. I love it. Okay, so now on first I'm gonna go back in with the what is this palette called? The blah 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 Supernova, and I'm gonna go in with that, with this blush shade, and I'm gonna go in with a different brush. I'm just gonna go underneath. Now I'm gonna go underneath over on this side because I want you guys to see. Okay, so now going in, back in with Forever Nude, I'm gonna go in with the Opal Allure, and that she's really fierce. Okay, I'm gonna do that. And I do want to sort of dust that on my nose a little bit. Put that right there. Okay, I am gonna go on like right here. Oh, that is really pretty. Okay, now I'm gonna go in with this shade, which is called Lotus Nectar, and I just wanna, I can't even tell the difference. Can you guys, I can't tell the difference. Can you guys tell the difference? Okay, now I'm gonna go in with the Supernova highlighter, and that's called Solar Fantasy. I'm hoping this will add a little bit of warmth. Okay, so that's like a really gold. Yeah, that's more of like a gold. I feel like this one is more of like flesh topper for me. It's, yeah, see, it's too dark for me. Yikes. Okay, so I just like powdered up. I tried to touch up a little. I really love her highlighters. I think they're so pretty. If you have textured skin, you might have a little bit of a problem. These are a little bit more glitterier. I wouldn't say they're glittery, but they're a little bit more granular than this one that came out, I think, was this the holiday one last year? I'm not sure, but this one I'm in love with. These are almost just as good as that, but just a little bit more sparkly-er. As far as the 5 pans, I definitely love Bordeaux Bliss. I wasn't that crazy about the other two. Was it this one that had like the glassy shade? Yes, okay, so I would have to pick Bronze Ecstasy and Bordeaux Bliss. The other two I could really just do without. And all the matte shades in all of these palettes definitely look like we've seen them before, not gonna lie, but I honestly am really impressed with these Mothership palettes. I had no issues with any of the shades. They were all really beautiful. I think it's definitely quality-wise a step up from last year's holiday palette. I think I like the Celestial, the pink one. Was that the year before? Or was it 2 years where I was not a fan of the Mothership holiday palettes? I can't remember now. I liked the first Mothership holiday palette she came out with. I think it was Celestial something, had the pink packaging. If I could find it, I would. I have it somewhere. Where it had like the Star Wars. It was similar and it had some of the Star Wars shades. That one I liked. The ones after that I didn't like, but these are beautiful. Like, so if you were trying to figure out what to get, I definitely think the face palette is worth it because you get a highlight, a beautiful bronzer, and a beautiful brush. All three of those are high quality. But then as far as eyeshadow palette wise, I think just go ahead and splurge and get one of these bigger palettes. They're both beautiful, actually. I thought I wasn't gonna like the, yeah, I didn't think I was gonna like this one online. It looked really ugly, but it's beautiful. I think the looks that came out of these are beautiful. They're kind of like those multi-chrome Danessa Myricks shadows, which I have to do a review on that. But they're more textured, more sparklier. They're not as foiled or smooth. So I definitely think it's like different. Plus you can just create beautiful neutral looks with these palettes as well. And we didn't even get into the blushes. So I think overall this is like a really good value because you're getting 2 blushes. You're getting a beautiful eyeshadow palette. I'm actually really impressed. I'm really impressed with her collection this year. I was on the fence because I haven't liked her stuff in a while. That's why I haven't gotten the Motherships recently, because I just haven't been impressed with the quality. But I think for the price, these are definitely really nice Mothership holiday palettes from her. The face palettes are beautiful, and yeah, I think she did a good job this year. I'm glad that she stepped it up because it's been kind of lacking. All right, you guys, I will try to link everything I can down below. If you have any questions about anything or you need to see something more in review, I can always send you swatches, or, you know, as far as comparisons, I was going to do more comparisons, but when I got into the 5 pans, they really were different than last year's 5 pans. And as far as, like I said, the mattes probably very similar to other mattes we've seen, but these shimmer shades are definitely like definitely new. So, all right, thank you guys so much for watching. I know it's been a long one, but you know, it's a big collection, and I will see you all in my next video. Bye-bye.